I stood by the driveway, my hand resting on the faded hood. The car was old, its paint scratched, its mirrors dull, but to me it was alive. Mom, why do you keep staring at that thing? Adrian's voice cut through the quiet. I smiled faintly. Because it's not a thing. This car carried me through my whole life. Your father sat right there next to me every day. Don't you remember? He rolled his eyes. I was a kid. All I remember is it breaking down in the middle of summer. Embarrassing as hell. I traced a finger along the chipped paint. That was the trip to Grandma's house. You were 10. Your father fixed it right there by the side of the road. You were laughing. You don't remember that part. No, he said flatly. I just remember sweating and waiting for hours. It's junk now, Mom. You're too sentimental. My chest tightened. It's not junk. It's part of me. Every time I sit inside, I can still hear your father's voice. I can still see him turning the wheel, singing along to the radio. Adrian scoffed. Dad's been gone for 10 years. You've got to stop living in the past. This car isn't a shrine. It's metal. I turned to face him. It's metal, yes. But it's also the place where I taught you how to drive. Where I held you after your first heartbreak. Do you not feel anything when you look at it? He shoved his hands into his pockets. Honestly, no. It just reminds me of being poor. Struggling. I want better than that. I'm not like you. His words stung. Not like me. What do you mean? I mean, he said slowly, you settled. You worked yourself to death for scraps. That car is a symbol of it. I don't want to end up like you. My throat tightened. I worked so you could go to college. I worked so you could eat, so you could wear clean clothes, so you could have the life I never had. Adrian sighed as if I were exhausting him. I know. You sacrificed. But you can't expect me to worship some broken-down car because of it. I whispered almost to myself, I don't expect worship. Just respect. He shifted uncomfortably. Look, I get it. You loved Dad. The car reminds you of him. Fine. But you can't hold on to it forever. It's falling apart. I looked at the cracked windshield, the worn tires, the seat that sagged on one side. As it was old. But it had carried my love, my grief, my survival. You think it's falling apart, I said softly. But to me it's still whole. Do you know why? Because every dent tells a story. Every mile is a memory. He groaned. Mom, you sound like a movie script. No one cares about dents. What matters is moving forward. You should sell it. Get something modern. Stop clinging to scraps. I clenched my fist. I don't want modern. I want this. This car is mine. It belongs to me. No one can decide that but me. His jaw tightened. You act like it's worth something. It's not. If anything, it's costing money. Insurance, repairs. Why keep throwing cash at a pile of metal? My heart ached. Because some things can't be measured in money. Some things hold pieces of us. And when we let them go, we lose more than an object. We lose part of ourselves. He looked at me like I was speaking another language. You're too emotional. That's your problem. You think memories matter more than reality. Memories are reality, I whispered. Without them, what are we? For a moment, silence stretched between us. I saw his father's eyes in him, the same shade of brown but colder now, sharper. Adrian had grown into a man I hardly recognized. He finally said, one day you'll thank me for pulling you into the future. I shook my head. And one day you'll understand what it means to betray the past. He smirked faintly. That car's not going to last forever. Whether you like it or not, it's already dying. My hand pressed against the hood as if I could shield it. Maybe. But as long as I breathe, it lives. You'll see. He muttered, we'll see, and walked inside, leaving me standing there. I leaned against the hood, my chest rising and falling. I wanted to scream, but instead I whispered into the metal. Don't worry. I won't let him take you from me. The evening breeze carried the faint smell of gasoline. The sun dipped lower, painting the car in gold light, like it was glowing alive. My memories rose like waves. My husband's laugh, my son's childish giggle, my own tired hands gripping the wheel on nights I thought I couldn't go on. Adrian thought it was junk. But to me it was everything. And as I stood there, I couldn't shake the uneasy thought whispering inside me. If he could throw away my memories so easily, what would he do next? I came home late that afternoon carrying groceries in both arms. The driveway stretched before me, but something felt wrong. Empty. Too empty. My eyes searched every corner. The space where my car always sat was bare. The bag slid from my hands. No, I whispered. No, no, no. I rushed inside. Adrian. He was sprawled on the couch, scrolling on his phone. He didn't even look up. Where's my car? My voice shook. Oh, he said lazily. That old thing? I sold it. The words hit me like a punch. You what? He finally glanced up, unfazed. I sold it, Mom. Got a decent deal too. You should be thanking me. That thing was falling apart. My breath caught in my throat. You sold my car without even asking me? He set his phone down with an annoyed sigh. It wasn't really yours anymore. You barely drove it. It was just sitting there, rusting. I staggered back. Not mine. I bought that car with your father. We raised you in it. Every part of my life is tied to that car. Exactly, he said, standing now, his voice sharper. You're tied to the past. I did you a favor. Now you can finally move on. My hands trembled. That wasn't your choice to make. How dare you decide for me? He shrugged. As someone had to. You weren't going to do it. You would have clung to that wreck until the wheels fell off. Meanwhile, I needed cash. So I made the call. I felt the blood drain from my face. Cash? You sold my memories, my history, for cash. He stepped closer, towering over me. Don't be dramatic. It was a car. Just metal and rubber. You act like it was alive. My voice broke. It was alive. To me. It was the last piece of your father I had left. You knew that. Adrian rolled his eyes. Dad's been gone for a decade. You can't keep living in grief forever. It's pathetic. I slapped my hand over my mouth, tears blurring my vision. Pathetic? After everything I gave you? After every sacrifice? He crossed his arms. Here we go. The guilt speech. I didn't ask you to work yourself into the ground. You chose that. Don't use it against me now. My chest ached. I worked for you. For your future. For your comfort. And this is how you repay me. He sneered. I'm repaying you by making your life easier. No more junk car bleeding money. You should thank me. I even got enough from the sale to cover a down payment for my new ride. You'll love it. Modern sleek. Something worth looking at. I shook my head slowly. So you stole from me, disrespected me, and called it love? His tone sharpened. Don't twist it. You're acting ungrateful. I'm moving us forward. You should be proud. I took a shaky breath. Proud? Of you taking the one thing that mattered most to me? Proud of you spitting on your father's memory. His face hardened. Stop bringing Dad into this. He's gone. He doesn't matter anymore. The words cut through me like glass. My knees nearly buckled. How can you say that? He was your father. He loved you more than life itself. Adrian's jaw tightened, but his eyes stayed cold. And what did that love get him? A life of struggle, a heart attack, and a broken-down car. That's not the future I want. I staggered back, clutching the wall. You ungrateful boy. That broken-down car carried his love, his sweat, his dreams. You destroyed it without a second thought. He spread his arms, mocking. Destroyed? Please. I traded up. Isn't that what life's about? Trading up. My tears spilled freely now. No. Life is about loyalty. About honoring those who came before you. About respect. Adrian scoffed. Respect doesn't pay bills. Respect doesn't buy a better life. I stared at him, my heart cracking. Then what does it buy, Adrian? Because right now it feels like I've lost everything. For you. He smirked. Don't be so dramatic. You'll get over it. One day you'll thank me. I whispered. Or one day you'll regret this. His eyes narrowed. What's that supposed to mean? I shook my head, too broken to answer. I grabbed my bag of groceries from the floor, my hands shaking so hard the milk nearly slipped. I walked past him, through the door, and into the cold evening. The driveway gaped at me, empty, silent, cruel. I lowered the bags to the ground and sank onto the concrete. I whispered into the air. He took it. He took everything. The silence pressed in, heavy, suffocating. My chest ached as if a hole had opened inside me. The spot where the car once rested glowed in my mind like a phantom limb, burning with absence. I wrapped my arms around myself, rocking slightly, tears streaking down my cheeks. I could still hear my husband's laugh echoing from the driver's seat. I could still see Adrian's small hands clutching the steering wheel when he was 15. And now it was gone. Gone because of the boy I raised. Gone because of the man he had become. The night fell darker, swallowing me whole. I sat there, broken, staring at the empty driveway, wondering if the emptiness inside me would ever end. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the cold cup of tea in front of me. The clock ticked loud, mocking. "Mom, are you seriously still sulking about the car?" Adrian's voice broke the silence. I didn't look up. "Sulking? You ripped the heart out of me and you call it sulking?" He leaned against the doorway. "You're exaggerating again. It was a car. Stop acting like someone died." My head snapped up. "Someone did die. Your father. And that car was all I had left of him." Adrian groaned. "Why do you keep dragging Dad into everything? It's been 10 years. You can't keep clinging to his ghost." My throat tightened. "He isn't a ghost to me. He lives in my memories, in the things he left behind. That car was his hands, his voice, his smile. You took that from me." He rolled his eyes. "You're impossible. Nothing I do is ever good enough for you." I slammed my palm on the table. "Good enough? I never asked you for diamonds or mansions. I asked you for respect. Just once, to listen to me, to understand me." His face hardened. "Respect goes both ways. You don't respect that I'm trying to build a future. You only see what you lost, not what I'm trying to gain." I whispered, "A future built on betrayal is no future at all." "Betrayal," he scoffed. "You're being dramatic again. I made a choice that benefits both of us. Why can't you see that?" I leaned back in my chair, exhausted. "Because you didn't make it for both of us. You made it for yourself. You didn't even ask me. Do you know what that feels like? To be invisible in your own home." His mouth opened, then shut. For a flicker of a second I saw doubt in his eyes. But it vanished. "You're twisting things. You always twist things to make me the villain." I shook my head. "I don't need to twist anything. Your actions speak louder than my words ever could." Silence fell. The ticking clock grew louder. My chest felt heavy, as though every breath was being pulled through mud. The front door opened suddenly. Lena's voice rang out, warm and curious. "Anyone home?" I jumped to my feet, rushing to her. "Lena." My voice cracked, and before I could stop myself, tears spilled again. She frowned. "What happened?" Adrian groaned. "Don't start with her, Mom. She doesn't need to hear your sob story." Lena's eyes narrowed. "Excuse me? What did you do this time, Adrian?" He folded his arms. "I sold her car. It was junk. She's acting like I burned down the house." Lena gasped. "You what? Adrian, how could you?" He shrugged. "It's not a big deal." Lena's hands flew up. "Not a big deal. That car was her life. Her husband's memory. Your childhood. And you sold it without even asking." Adrian's jaw tightened. "I don't need to be ganged up on. I did what I thought was best." I whispered, "Best for who?" He turned to me, voice sharp. "Best for us. For our future. You're stuck in the past and I'm sick of carrying it." Lena stepped between us. "Adrian, listen to yourself. Do you hear how cruel that sounds? She gave everything for you and you treat her like she's in your way." He looked away. "You don't get it. None of you get it. I'm not going to live poor like my parents did. I want more." Lena's voice softened. "And at what cost? Hurting your own mother." His silence was answer enough. I sank back into my chair, whispering, "Maybe I failed. Maybe I gave you everything and forgot to teach you how to value it." Adrian clenched his fists. "Stop making me feel guilty. I don't need this." He stormed out, the door slamming behind him. Lena turned to me, her eyes filled with pity. "You can't keep letting him treat you like this." I shook my head weakly. "He's my son." He grabbed my hands. "Yes, but you're a person too. You have the right to be respected. Don't let him break you." Tears slipped down my face. "I don't know how to fight him, Lena. He's all I have left." She squeezed my hands tighter. "Then find your strength. Because if you don't, he'll take everything until there's nothing left of you." Her words echoed in my chest like thunder. I wanted to believe I could fight, but all I felt was emptiness. I pressed a hand over my heart and whispered, "All I hear is silence. A silence where my husband's voice used to be. Where my car used to be. Where my son's love used to be." And in that silence I realized I was already starting to lose myself. Adrian's laughter echoed through the living room that Friday night. His friends crowded around his new car outside, their voices spilling in through the open window. "Check it out," Adrian boasted. "Leather seats, touchscreen, the whole package. Way better than the junk heap I sold." My chest tightened. I stood in the doorway, clutching a dish towel. The word junk heap hit me like a stone. One of his friends whistled. "Man, this is slick. You must be rolling in cash." Adrian smirked. "I make good money. Promotion's coming soon. I've got plans. This is just the beginning." I stepped forward. "Adrian, can you keep it down? It's late." He shot me a look. "Mom, we're celebrating. Don't be such a buzzkill." I swallowed hard. Celebrating with what? Debt. His friends chuckled nervously. Adrian forced a laugh. "Ignore her. She doesn't get it. Old habits die hard." I clenched the towel tighter. Old habits kept a roof over your head. Adrian's jaw twitched, but he turned away. "Come on, guys, let's go for a drive." The door slammed behind them. Silence returned, but it wasn't peaceful. It was heavy, bitter. Later that night, I heard him pacing in his room. Muffled curses slipped out. I knocked gently. "Adrian." "What?" His voice was sharp. I pushed the door open. "What's wrong?" He rubbed his forehead. "Nothing. Just work stuff." I frowned. "Work stuff?" He hesitated, then muttered, "My boss is breathing down my neck. He says I'm behind on targets. But he doesn't get it. I'm handling big deals. It'll pay off." I sat on the edge of his bed. "Are you sure? You look tired." He snapped. I said I'm fine. I held my tongue. For a moment I just studied his face, so much like his father's but missing the warmth. "You're pushing too hard. Be careful." He groaned. "Mom, I don't need a lecture. I need support." I whispered, "Support doesn't mean silence when I see you falling." He glared. "I'm not falling. I'm rising. Just watch." I wanted to believe him. But the crack in his voice betrayed him. The next morning I overheard him on the phone. "I told you I'll have it next week. Oh, don't threaten me." I said I'll handle it. His voice dropped. "Fine. I'll figure something out." When he hung up, I asked softly, "Adrian, who was that?" He flinched. "None of your business." "Debt collectors?" His eyes flashed. "Stay out of it." I whispered, "You sold my car for this?" "For debts." He slammed his hand against the counter. I said stay out. My heart pounded. "Adrian, I'm not your enemy. I'm your mother." He laughed bitterly. "Then act like it. Stop judging me." I bit my lip, swallowing the hurt. "I'm not judging. I'm scared. Scared of losing you the way I lost your father." For a moment his expression softened. But then his pride rose again. "I'm not Dad. I won't die broke in some old car. I'll make it." I whispered, "Not if you keep lying to yourself." His phone buzzed again. He grabbed it and stormed out. That evening Lena came by. She spotted the tension immediately. "What happened now?" she asked, setting down a basket of bread. I sighed. "He's hiding something. Money troubles. I heard him on the phone." Lena frowned. "And what did he say?" "That I should stay out of it." My voice cracked. "He doesn't see me as his mother anymore. Just an obstacle." Lena squeezed my hand. "He's spiraling. And when pride meets pressure, something always breaks." Tears welled in my eyes. I already feel the cracks. Adrian burst through the door then, tossing his keys on the counter. "Who made bread?" Lena's smile was thin. "I did. Want some?" He shrugged. "Sure." He grabbed a slice, but I noticed his hands trembling as he bit into it. I asked softly, "Are you okay?" He barked, "Stop asking me that." Lena's eyes narrowed. "She's not your enemy, Adrian. Why do you talk to her like that?" He shot her a glare. "Because she doesn't get it. Neither of you do. I'm trying to build something better. But you just drag me down with your pity looks." Lena stood. "Better doesn't mean stepping on your mother's heart." He rolled his eyes. "Save the speeches. I don't need them." The silence that followed was thick, choking. After he left the room, Lena whispered, "He's unraveling. Can't you see it?" I nodded, my chest tight. "Yes. And for the first time, part of me doesn't feel sorry." Lena looked at me startled. I wiped my tears. Because maybe he needs to fall before he sees how far he's drifted from love. The words hung heavy between us, truth and sorrow twisted together. And in my chest I felt both pain and the faintest spark of something else. Not revenge. Not yet. But justice waiting in silence. The morning began with a knock at the door. It wasn't polite. It was sharp, impatient. I froze halfway through pouring tea. Adrian, someone's here. He stumbled out of his room, shirt half tucked. Ignore it. The knock grew louder. I whispered, Adrian, they won't just go away. He cursed under his breath and yanked the door open. Two men stood there, dressed too clean to be friends, too cold to be neighbors. You Adrian? One asked. Adrian's jaw clenched. Yeah. You know why we're here. He glanced at me. Not now. I said I'd handle it. The taller man smirked. Deadlines don't move for excuses. Where's the money? I stepped forward. What money? Adrian's face paled. Mom, stay out of this. The shorter man chuckled. So this is Mommy. You didn't tell her? Adrian's voice rose. Leave her out. My hands shook. Adrian, what did you do? He muttered, it's just a loan. I'll pay it back. The tall man sneered. You said that last month. Time's up. I clutched the counter for balance. How much? Enough, Adrian snapped. Don't. The man interrupted. 30 grand. Plus interest. My breath caught. 30, Adrian. He shouted. I said I'll handle it. The taller man leaned closer. Next week. No excuses. Or we take something else. I whispered. Something else. He smiled thinly. Anything that hurts. Adrian slammed the door in their faces. He pressed his back against it, chest heaving. I stared at him. $30,000? How? He rubbed his forehead. Investments. They went bad. But I can fix it. I whispered. Fix it? You can't even keep food in the fridge. His eyes burned. Don't start. Don't start. My voice shook. You sold my car, Adrian. The only piece of your father I had left. For this. He shouted. It was just a car. The words pierced me deeper than knives. No, it wasn't. It was our history. Our life. And you threw it away like trash. His fists clenched. I'm trying to build a future. I stepped closer, trembling. At the cost of your soul? At the cost of your mother? He turned away, breathing hard. I'll figure it out. Just stop interfering. I whispered. Interfering? I'm trying to save you. He spun around. No. You're trying to control me. Just like always. Tears blurred my vision. Control? I gave you everything. Every sacrifice, every penny, every sleepless night, so you wouldn't fall. He sneered. Then stop blaming me when your sacrifices weren't enough. The words shattered something inside me. Silence fell, heavy, suffocating. He looked away first. I'll get the money, he muttered. Somehow. I asked quietly, at what cost, Adrian? More lies. More blood on your hands. He didn't answer. That night Lena came over. I told her everything. She gasped. 30,000? That's not a mistake, that's a trap. I nodded weakly. He's already inside it. She frowned. And you? I whispered, something broke today. Not just in him. In me. Her eyes searched mine. What do you mean? I always believed love could shield him. That no matter what, he'd remember I was his mother. But he doesn't see me as love anymore. Just a wall in his way. Lena squeezed my hand. So what will you do? I stared into the dark window, my reflection faint and weary. For the first time, I don't know. But I can't keep saving him from himself. Lena whispered, that sounds like the turning point. I nodded slowly. Yes. And maybe it's mine, not his. The words lingered, heavier than any silence we'd shared before. The house felt like a coffin the next morning. Silent, dark, suffocating. I sat at the kitchen table, clutching my cold tea, waiting for Adrian to come out of his room. He finally did, eyes bloodshot, hair a mess. Rough night? I asked softly. He groaned. Don't start. I'm not starting. I'm asking. He dropped into a chair. I didn't sleep. Those guys keep calling. They want the money sooner. My chest tightened. How much time did they give you? A week. Maybe less. I whispered, Adrian, where will you get it? He rubbed his face. I'll sell some things. My watch. My laptop. Maybe the car. My heart stopped. The new car. He shrugged. It's worth more than your junk was. It'll cover a chunk. I slammed my hand on the table. Don't you dare. He snapped. It's my car. I leaned forward, trembling. No, it's your escape. The one thing you value more than people. If you lose that, what do you have left? He laughed bitterly. A mother who won't stop nagging. My throat closed. Nagging? Is that what you think this is? He looked me dead in the eye. Yeah. You act like you're saving me, but you're just dragging me down with your memories and guilt. My hand shook. Adrian, I raised you. Alone. Do you think it was easy? Do you think I held on to that car because I loved metal and wheels? No. It was him. Your father. The man who loved us, who wanted better for us. You erased him when you sold it. He looked away. I didn't ask to live in the past. I felt the floor drop beneath me. No, you just asked for money. For more and more until nothing was left. His fist slammed the table. I'm trying to make a life. You don't get it. I stood, voice shaking. No, Adrian. You're destroying one. He froze. I whispered, whine. Silence pressed between us. His breathing slowed, but his eyes burned with anger. You'll see, he muttered. When I make it big, when I get out, you'll thank me. I whispered. For what? For breaking me. He grabbed his jacket. I can't do this. I'm going out. Adrian. The door slammed. I collapsed into the chair, shaking. My hands clutched the edge like the world would tilt without me holding it. Hours passed. Lena stopped by after dinner, worry etched into her face. You look pale, she said. He's slipping, I whispered. And I'm slipping with him. She sat down. What happened? I told her everything. The debt. The threats. His words. Lena sighed. He's not just careless anymore. He's cruel. I nodded. I felt it. Today. I think something inside me broke. He squeezed my hand. So what will you do? Tears spilled before I could stop them. I don't know. I've lived my whole life protecting him. But now, I don't know if I can survive it. She said gently, maybe it's time to protect yourself. The thought stunned me. Protect myself. A phrase that sounded foreign on my tongue. That night, when Adrian returned, the smell of alcohol hit me before he even spoke. You've been drinking, I whispered. He laughed, staggering. So what? You're not my keeper. Adrian, stop this before it's too late. He smirked. Too late for what? For you to cry more? For me to disappoint you again? I shook my head, voice cracking. For you to lose yourself completely. He leaned against the wall. Maybe I already did. The words gutted me. I whispered, then what am I fighting for? He stared, eyes glassy. I don't know. But stop fighting me. I'm not your little boy anymore. I said softly, no, you're not. My little boy died the day you sold that car. His mouth opened, then closed. For a second I thought I saw regret flicker. But it vanished. He muttered, you'll never understand, and stumbled off to his room. I sat there long after, staring at the dark hallway. My heart had carried him for so long, but it couldn't carry him anymore. I whispered into the silence, something has to change. Or I won't survive. And for the first time I meant it. The morning after his drunken return, I woke before the sun. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the silent house. Something inside me had shifted overnight. I couldn't explain it, but I felt lighter. Like grief had burned into something sharper. When Adrian stumbled out, hair messy, I didn't rise to greet him. I just sipped my tea. He grunted, why are you staring at me? I'm not, I said calmly. He frowned. You're usually nagging by now. I met his gaze. I'm done nagging. He blinked. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm done fighting you for your life. You want to sink. But you won't take me down with you. His jaw tightened. What's that tone? It's clarity. He laughed nervously. You think you can just walk away? I already did, I whispered. He froze. I continued, steady now. Last night when you said you weren't my little boy anymore, I believed you. So today I'll treat you as the man you claim to be. A man who makes his own choices. And pays for them. His face flushed. Don't you dare. Dare what? Refuse to shield you from debt collectors? Refuse to cry over your lies? That's not daring, Adrian. That's surviving. He slammed his fist on the counter. I needed that car. I needed every dollar. You don't get it. I leaned forward, calm. And you don't get that I was your safety net. And I just cut the rope. He stared at me, breathing hard. Fine, he spat. Do what you want. But when they come back, don't beg me to protect you. I almost laughed. Protect me? You can't even protect yourself. The silence that followed was sharp, dangerous. That evening Lena came by. She noticed immediately. You look different. I am different, I said quietly. What happened? I stopped begging him to change. I stopped carrying his shame. She smiled faintly. So it's his turn now? I nodded. His turn to feel the weight. His turn to see what happens when he runs out of me. Later that night, Adrian burst in, pacing. They doubled it, he muttered. The debt. They want 60 now. My chest squeezed, but I didn't flinch. And what will you do? He glared at me. You're my mother. You're supposed to help me. I shook my head. I did. For years. But you traded every sacrifice for greed. Don't talk like that, he snapped. I'm your son. I whispered, yes, my son. Not my savior. Not my captor. Not my executioner. He looked startled, as if the words were knives. I stood. I won't lend another dollar. I won't cry for what you lost. You wanted freedom? You have it. Use it. He shouted, you'll regret this. No, I said firmly. You will. His mouth opened, then shut. For once he had no comeback. He stormed out, door shaking in its frame. I sat down, heart pounding, but for the first time in years I felt a strange kind of peace. Not joy, not relief, just freedom from the endless cycle. Lena called me later. So, how did he take it? Like a man losing his grip, I whispered. And you? I looked at the dark window, my reflection steady. Like a woman who finally found hers. The phone rang late at night. I almost didn't answer, but something in me knew. Mom. Adrian's voice cracked through the line. I sat up in bed. Adrian, what happened? They took it, he whispered. I frowned. Took what? My car. They came while I was at the bar. Said if I don't pay tomorrow, they'll take more. I closed my eyes. More of what? He paused. They said, my freedom. My stomach twisted. Adrian. He groaned. I don't know what to do. You did this, I said softly. Don't start. No, I cut in. I'm not starting. I'm ending. You wanted to live like a man? This is manhood. Consequences. He sighed, voice shaking. You don't get it. They're dangerous. I do get it. But I can't save you. Mom, please. Just this once. No, I said firmly. Not this time. Silence. Then a whisper. So you're just going to let them ruin me? I swallowed hard. Adrian, you ruined yourself. The line went dead. The next morning Lena came by. She studied my face. You didn't sleep. He called, I whispered. What did he want? Help. Money. Mercy. I gave him none. Lena's eyes softened. And how do you feel? I looked down. Broken. But steady. She nodded. That's what strength feels like sometimes. Later that day Adrian showed up, pale and frantic. Mom, he gasped. They're serious. They came to my work. My boss fired me. I bit my lip. Adrian. He paced. I lost my job. I lost my car. What am I supposed to do? You're supposed to grow, I whispered. He spun on me. Grow? While men are hunting me. You hunted yourself when you chose greed over family. He shouted, stop throwing that car in my face. I snapped, you threw it first. His chest heaved. For the first time I saw not arrogance but fear. They'll kill me, he whispered. I felt a tear slip. Then beg them for mercy. Not me. His eyes widened. You really mean it? Yes. He sank into a chair, hands in his hair. I don't know how to fight them. I said quietly, you don't. You endure them. You survive them. Or you change. He looked up. And you won't help? I shook my head. Not anymore. He muttered, I never thought you'd abandon me. My voice cracked. No, Adrian. You abandoned me the day you sold that car. I'm only catching up. Silence filled the room. Finally, he whispered, I don't know who I am anymore. I whispered back, maybe now you'll find out. Days blurred. He stopped coming by. When I did see him, he was thinner, clothes wrinkled, eyes sunken. The men had stripped away his pride piece by piece. One night he appeared at my door again, trembling. Mom, he whispered. They're going to make me work for them if I can't pay. I stared. Work, how? He swallowed. Illegal things. I can't. I whispered, then you finally know fear. He nodded, tears in his eyes. I'm sorry. The words cut deeper than any insult. I asked softly, sorry for what? For selling the car. For yelling. For everything. My chest tightened. Why now? Because I lost everything else. And you're all I have left. I studied him. For the first time I saw not the arrogant boy but the broken man. I whispered, and what do you want from me? Not money, he said quickly. Not saving. Just, don't hate me. My tears fell. I never hated you, Adrian. I hated who you became. He bowed his head. Then maybe I can change. I touched his shoulder. Change doesn't come from words. It comes from ruin. And you're standing in it. He sobbed quietly, shaking under my hand. For the first time in years I didn't feel powerless. His downfall was painful, but it wasn't mine. It was his. And maybe finally he was ready to face it. The night was thick with silence when the pounding on the door came. My heart leapt into my throat. Adrian flinched. It's them, he whispered. I stood frozen. Do you want me to answer? He shook his head, pale. No. Please. Let me. He opened the door with trembling hands. Two men stepped in, the same ones as before. Their eyes were cold, sharper than knives. Adrian, the taller one said. We gave you time. You failed. Adrian swallowed hard. I can pay. I just need. The shorter man cut him off. No more lies. I whispered, please, he's just. The taller man turned to me. Stay out, lady. He owes us. He plays, he pays. Adrian's voice cracked. I don't have it. Not 60. Not even 6. The taller man smirked. Then you work for us. Starting tonight. Adrian shook his head violently. No. I can't. Then maybe we take something else. His eyes flicked to me. I stepped forward, voice shaking. Don't you dare. Adrian panicked. No. Don't touch her. I'll do it. I'll work. The shorter man grinned. Smart boy. Finally. Adrian whispered, but, please, don't hurt her. For the first time I saw him kneel, not out of pride but desperation. My son broken. I said softly, Adrian, stand up. He looked at me, eyes wet. I can't. Not anymore. I turned to the men. You wanted to break him? You already did. He's yours. But he's not mine anymore. The taller man tilted his head. Cold, lady. No, I whispered. Truth. Adrian's breath caught. Mom. I met his gaze, steady. I begged you for years to change. You spat on love, on sacrifice, on me. Now you beg strangers. That's your karma. He shook his head, tears spilling. Please, don't leave me like this. My own tears burned. I left long ago. You just never noticed. The taller man stepped forward. Enough talk. Adrian, let's go. Adrian staggered, voice breaking. Mom, help me. The sound pierced me, but I didn't move. My hands gripped the chair, nails digging deep. The men pulled him toward the door. He fought weakly, calling my name. Mom. Please. I stood shaking. Adrian. They paused. He looked back, desperate. I whispered, this is your price. Pay it. His face crumpled. The door shut behind him. The silence after was unbearable. My knees buckled and I sank to the floor. My sobs tore the air apart, raw and violent. But beneath the grief, a cold truth settled. I hadn't lost him tonight. I had lost him years ago. Tonight was just the final act. Lena found me hours later, curled on the floor. Where is he? She whispered. Gone, I croaked. She touched my shoulder gently. And you? I looked up, eyes swollen, voice hoarse. Still here. For the first time that felt like victory. The morning sun crept through the curtains, its light sharp against my swollen eyes. I hadn't slept. My body felt heavy but strangely lighter too, like the weight that chained me for years had cracked. Lena sat at the kitchen table sipping tea. You didn't rest. I shook my head. How could I? His voice, it keeps echoing. Mom, help me. Her eyes softened. You think you abandoned him? I whispered, didn't I? No, she reached across the table. You finally stopped saving someone who never wanted saving. I stared at the steam rising from her cup. He was my son. My little boy. I was supposed to protect him. And you did, she said firmly. You protected him from hunger, from the streets, from life itself. But you couldn't protect him from himself. I closed my eyes. That's what breaks me. Silence stretched, heavy but healing. Then she asked quietly, do you want to report them? The men who took him. I thought for a long moment. What good would it do? They didn't steal him. He handed himself over. Lena nodded slowly. So, what will you do now? I exhaled shakily. Live. She gave a faint smile. After all this time you finally say it. I leaned back in the chair. I think I forgot what that meant. My life revolved around him, his moods, his debts, his contempt. I didn't exist outside of his shadow. And now, I said softly, I want to exist for me. The words felt strange, almost selfish, but they filled a hollow space inside me I didn't know was still alive. Later that day I walked to the driveway. The empty space where my car once stood seemed to mock me. Yet as I stood there I realized it wasn't just loss, it was freedom too. That car was my prison of memories, chained to Adrian's betrayals. I whispered into the air, I let go. A neighbor, Mrs. Cole, peeked over the fence. You all right, dear? I smiled faintly. I think so. She tilted her head. Haven't seen Adrian. He's gone. Her eyes widened. Oh. Trouble. I nodded once. But not mine anymore. She gave a knowing look. Sometimes the hardest thing a mother can do is step back. Her words settled deep. I turned away before tears could rise again. That evening Lena and I sat together on the porch. The air smelled of rain. Do you regret it? She asked softly. My throat tightened. Every breath of me regrets losing him. But every breath of me also knows I didn't truly lose him last night. I lost him the first time he called me a burden. Lena reached for my hand. That was his sin, not yours. I stared at the horizon. Do you think he'll come back? She hesitated. Maybe. But if he does, he won't be the same. And if he never does? He squeezed my hand. Then maybe that's mercy. We sat in silence listening to the crickets. For the first time in years I didn't feel like I was waiting for his footsteps, his demands, his anger. The quiet belonged to me. Days turned into weeks. No calls, no knocks, no whispers about Adrian. He was gone as though he had been swallowed by the earth. One afternoon Lena found me gardening. Still no news, she said. I wiped dirt from my hands. Silence has become my peace. She smiled faintly. Closure looks good on you. I laughed softly. It feels strange but right. That night as I lay in bed I whispered to the darkness, Adrian, wherever you are, I loved you. But love can't survive where respect doesn't live. That's my justice, choosing me after all these years. The room didn't answer. But for once I didn't need it to. In the days that followed I began to rebuild. Small steps, quiet victories. Cooking meals I enjoyed. Walking to the park. Talking with neighbors. Smiling at strangers. One morning Lena teased, "You're glowing." I laughed. I think I'm just alive. She tilted her head. And free. Yes, I said firmly. Free. But freedom carried its own silence, one I welcomed. Weeks later a letter arrived. My hands trembled as I opened it. It was from Adrian. Just one line. I'm sorry, Mom. I stared at it, my heart pounding. Lena read my face. What does it say? Nothing that changes the past, I whispered. She asked, will you write back? I folded the letter carefully. No. Some apologies come too late. I tucked it away in a drawer, not as hope but as history. Standing by the window I looked at the empty driveway once more. This time it didn't hurt. It simply was. I whispered into the evening air. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just silence. and the choice to finally keep it. And with that, I closed the curtain, turned the key on my old life, and walked forward into mine.